Hello and welcome to Play Talk Repeat. I'm Oliver and I'm joined by Alex, Lewis and Niall.
Hello.
Hello.
So it's time for our monthly video game book club. This month's game, chosen by Lewis, is Sunset Overdrive. Lewis,
Yeah, man.
why'd you pick the game?
Because Alex has recommended it to me several times in the past, and I can't lie. Last time when we were recording, I was fighting for my life trying to pick a game because I left it to the last second because I forgot. But then after a lot of research, I saw Sunset Overdrive and then remembered that it was a game I always wanted to play, and I'd been told it was very good. So,
Cracking.
and also I wanted the video game book club game to be a game that hopefully everyone would enjoy because I don't think we've had one of those yet. So.
No.
That is true.
Yeah.
So some details about the game. So Sunset Overdrive was developed by Insomniac Games. It was as an exclusive for Xbox. This was obviously before they were bought by PlayStation. It released for Xbox One in October 2014. It was then ported to PC in November 2018. And finally, it's an open world action adventure shooter. So, opening statements, please. Lewis, I'll start with you since you picked it.
Sunset Overdrive is a very entertaining game. The way I was thinking about it when I was playing it was pretty much just if Edgar Wright made a video game. I thought it was very fast, very funny. The humor actually landed with me, and considering it's a game that came out in 2014, I wasn't expecting that because I feel like I've got like PTSD from like Borderlands because that game just, even when it tries to make a game like 2019 or whatever, it's just not funny. But a lot of the humor in this game is actually really good. It's an Insomniac made game. It's really, really high quality. There are a ton of things I do enjoy about it, but I'll get into that later. I give the game overall a 7 out of 10.
Bloody hell.
7 out of 10. Niall.
First of all, I'm going to hit you with an interesting fact. I just downloaded a facts sheet for Sunset Overdrive. Apparently, when it came out, there was 8-player cooperative online action. That would have been cool at the time, wouldn't it? But it's not available now, so oh well. So yeah, Sunset Overdrive. I think this is my headcanon for the development of Sunset Overdrive. Once that finished, half the team went on to go and make Spider-Man. The other half went to go and make Fortnite. Because of it's like a combination of the two things. So, for example, the
Insomniac.
What?
It's his headcanon. We don't know the words. It's nonsense.
Yeah, to be fair, like people do, it is common for people to stay at the same studio for 9 years and work on multiple titles there instead of going to different companies. But anyway, so well, yeah, it's similar to Spider-Man in that it's the open world is a joy to traverse. Same with Spider-Man, I only had to use the fast travel feature once when it forced me to. Other than that, I would actively refuse to, just so I can go around the world and enjoy it. The amount of collectibles is really, really good, and also it's fun and interesting. It's kind of like similar to Death Stranding as well, in that the traversal of the world constantly keeps you engaged, which I like. And the reason why I mentioned Fortnite as well is just because bouncing off things, like, it sounds the same and has like the exact same animations, it feels like, whenever you bounce off something as you do in Fortnite, and like literally the roll looks similar as well. So yeah, my main thing which I liked about it is the traversal of the open world. Didn't particularly like the missions overall. The story was okay, but overall I gave it a 7 out of 10 as well. So that's me.
Do you roll in Fortnite? I can't remember rolling in Fortnite.
Like, well, it's like a clambering.
Oh, right, I get what you're like. Yeah.
Yeah.
I get you.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's on about the actual like roll when you press X.
No,
I didn't know you could roll in Fortnite, to be fair.
You can.
No, you can. No, that's what we're saying. You can't roll in Fortnite.
Oh, X, as in the controller. I was getting confused with the keyboard. I thought you were on about some. I don't know what you're on about. To be fair, Alex, you're talking shit. How about you?
He's saying that you can roll in Sunset Overdrive by pressing the X button.
Oh, right, okay. I didn't really see it as a roll. I saw it as like a melee attack, so I think that's why I was getting confused, because you got that thing very quickly where you can just...
B was a melee attack. Yeah, B was a melee attack.
Well, you use it as a melee attack, don't you? Because you roll into enemies. You don't roll normally. When would you roll in the game unless to attack enemies?
I
used it to roll away.
Roll away from what? You're constantly grinding.
Right, we're getting stuck on this. I wasn't expecting that.
You guys are crazy.
Right, Alex, opening statement, please.
Right, okay. So, When Lewis picked this game, I was like, fucking hell, I've just played this game. And then I looked, I actually last played it in 2020. And then looking through my Xbox achievements, this is actually the 4th time I've beaten this game since 2015. So I
you
think
like it then?
I think that's gonna be it. Yeah. Well, I probably wouldn't have ever played it again if this wasn't forced upon me. But yeah, it's a fun time. I played it when it first came out in 2014, 15, when it came out. Yeah. And I played it again in
2014.
2017, and then again in 2020 during lockdown, and then just now. It's a great time. You can definitely see, like, after playing Spider-Man, some of the things that they put into Spider-Man, like the mission with the leeches. Like, because there was a part with that in Spider-Man where he ends up being like naked and going like crazy with all the fumes and stuff. So they definitely took inspiration from that. But other than that, great time, great world, great gunplay. It's just a fun time all around. 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10.
7's all around so far.
But I don't. Well, so there must be some negatives then. If you,
Oh,
you're
yeah,
all
I've got
giving it
some
7.
negatives.
You've all said there's good stuff. You all say these really good stuff, and then give it
I've
a
got
7.
some negatives. I'll bring that up later.
Okay, so I gave it an 8 out of 10.
Oh,
I just think it's a bloody good time. It's just I like the open world games, but only if the traversal is good. Like, so we're talking like our Spider-Mans, our prototypes, things like that, and this gets a traversal just right. Maybe in the opening couple of hours it's not as good as it can be, but as soon as you unlock the boost through the air, that immediately brings it all together.
I was trying to air dash the entire time.
Yeah,
I was just like, this is so annoying.
I was doing the same thing because it does come off playing Spider-Man as well, so you expect to be able to do that, like zip through the air kind of thing. But yeah. You can't.
Yeah.
It doesn't take itself seriously, which allows it to basically do whatever it wants. It does. Each mission is like quite different, and it's just got that Insomniac polish to it. Really, it's just a good time all around. So yeah, 8 out of 10.
speaking about traversal, did you guys? It took me like almost till the end of the game until I realized that you could slide on water. I didn't realize it for ages. Was that something that was easy?
I realized it in that mission where it's like get across the water by sliding on it.
No, I just used the boats. I just bounced my way across.
Yeah,
I realized it in 2014 when I played the game the first time.
It's like whatever that guy is called, the nerdy dude.
Sam.
Like he's like, because you have to go to that person's parents' house to go see if they're alive, and he's like, go across the water and slide across it.
Oh yeah, did you guys have trouble with finding out which like how to get up there? Because I got trouble with the zip lines because I didn't realize that there would be multiple targets to hit. I thought I just saw one target and I used it, and it wasn't the right one. It was just completely wrong, and so I had to go and do it again, which I thought was strange.
I can understand that, I guess, but I didn't struggle with it. I thought it was quite obvious.
Yeah, that was the only time I had to look up what I used a guide for this game, which I didn't think I'd have to.
Even I didn't use a guide for this.
I was gonna say it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always look at a guide to see what missions there are, but I don't never to see how to do them. Well, in this case, anyway. So the humor. So Lewis, you mentioned like the humor actually landed with you. Did it land with everyone else?
Yeah. I thought Bro Cream was a funny name. That was probably the most funniest part of the game for me. Was Bro Cream. So yeah.
Bro Cream is the best.
Not the fact that he had no arms or legs.
That was funny.
Just his name.
That was funny.
His animation was funny at one point for something. I can't remember what it was. Oh yeah, it was to do with the hands. When they all put the hands in at the end, they just didn't do anything. They hadn't got any hands to do it with. But yeah,
I just like how it wasn't explained though that he had like why he had no arms, because he had arms and legs before he got taken, and then he just didn't have arms or legs.
It was stuck in the garbage truck for like 2 weeks or 16 days, I think it was.
Maybe he ate his arms and legs.
I mean, it's possible, but I like that though. How he just doesn't explain it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought the humor was great the entire time. Like there was some jokes that obviously just weren't that funny, but I'd say at least 50% of the time, I found myself like smiling or chuckling at something that happened. Like it just wasn't, like I said, unlike Borderlands, where it's just grating to listen to any of it and none of it is funny. There was actually just stuff in this where I was like, you know what, that even in 2023, 2022, that still kind of hits. It's just it's funny. And I think Yuri Lowenthal's delivery of stuff as well, especially, helped a lot of it because he's just such a good voice actor that he can just make it work, I think, even if it isn't that funny.
And the animation on your character as well. Like it just suited like Yuri's
It
voice
did, it
so
did,
so
it really
well,
did.
and it made everything land. I think any joke that didn't land is because it came out in 2014.
Yes,
And
literally, that's
yeah,
what I'm saying.
and humor's moved on. But like to reinforce your point about Borderlands, so I'm currently playing Tiny Tina, and the humor is exactly the same in Borderlands as it always has been, and it is
Exactly.
bad.
It just doesn't work. Like they haven't moved on from like 2009 or whatever. It's weird. I just don't understand how anyone could enjoy that type of game.
I've never.
But I mean,
they always make pop culture references too late.
yes,
Like
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
just like a smidge too late. It's really it's not good. So yeah, humor. Everyone liked the humor. Grand.
yeah.
So gunplay. What was everyone's favorite gun first of all?
Oh, that's a tricky one.
Can I answer really quickly?
Go for it.
Go on then. Go on.
It was the AK-74
F off.
FU or F off, whichever one it was. I just found it to be the easiest to actually just because the game sometimes was a bit stingy with ammo. I know, like once you found ammo, it was quick to get back, but it was finding it sometimes that took a while. But the AK allowed me to just like it gave me a shit ton of ammo, and it was strong, and it was just easy to use pretty much. So I was using that for most of the game.
Where did you unlock that? Because I just realized it was on my hotbar at some point. I didn't.
Yeah,
I don't remember
same.
picking it up.
Literally, I did a mission, and it was just in my inventory, and then I was like, okay, I guess, and then I just used it. I did find out that there's two versions of the AK because one of them's like DLC, so maybe you just get given it at a certain point in the game if you have the DLC, which I think we all do because Alex said that the DLC it comes with the game on PC. I think when you just buy
Yeah.
it.
So the DLC comes with like 10 different guns and the 2 DLC packs. The AK F off came with the DLC, so you will have got it after a certain amount of time.
Yeah, that's what
Or
it
you
is.
could have bought it from 2 Hat Jack from the start.
Did anybody ever buy anything of him?
Yeah, I bought a
Yeah.
couple of things.
I never
only
talked
bought
to
a
him
few
once.
things.
I only bought like 3 weapons the entire game, if I'm being honest with you. I tended to focus my money more on the collectible maps.
Yeah, no, I bought stuff
Didn't
just
do
to fill it out, so I had more ammo because I was always running out of ammo. But the main reason I bought from him at one point in the game was because of the robots you had to fight. I had no electric guns, so I needed something that would take them down a bit faster.
Electric guns.
Yeah,
That's crazy because my hotbar didn't even fill up the whole game. Like I still had like 3 slots left
Yeah,
or something
same.
like that.
I had
Yeah. Yeah, like
I had like 7 extra guns.
yeah. Well, I didn't. Yeah, I didn't realize. I was always wondering why robots always took me forever to kill, and it's because apparently I just weren't using the right gun.
yeah.
Wait, you needed a specific gun for the robots?
No,
Every gun is good against like a certain type of enemy. It's why you use the flaming compensator and then Dirty Harry on the big guys. I can't remember what they're called.
I did not know
the
that.
OD.
Yeah, well, the massive
yeah,
ones
the
with
big-
like
the
the big
big
like
tanky
truck
ones.
arm. So once they're on fire, then you do more damage with the Dirty Harry, and then it just like the health bar just literally goes straight down.
I just noticed that when my weapons were at level 5, I just did so much damage anyway that like it didn't really matter what I was using. I didn't realize there was like type weaknesses and stuff.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
they all do status effects. So like electric shocks them and stuns them, and then but the fire one, like you say, so like for the robots it's electric, for the OD it's fire. I think the like the scabs or whatever they're called, they are just vulnerable to bullets.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Like they'll take more damage from just being given bullets and stuff like that. So for example, my favorite gun. Well, our guns are just the regular bullet guns because I feel like they do the most damage consistently. Like everything else is just for status effects and things like that. But there's nothing better than using the AK-47 or the hand cannon or the shotgun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I really liked it.
So those 3 were like my primary weapons, and then towards the end of the game, I got the physical rifle, and that was
Yeah, that's what
literally
I
just
got.
like a better AK, and it was just so good to use.
Yeah,
Wish I knew all. Oh,
I got that for the Roberts. Teddy bear.
The teddy bear rocket launcher thing. Yeah.
I used that for a lot of crowd control for a lot.
Yeah, I mostly use that during the tower defense stuff.
Yeah. Speaking of crowds, did any of you guys have issues with that pigeon mission where you had to roast them? Yeah, it took me like 5
a little
different
bit.
tries.
Literally, I was gonna say it took me about 5 tries.
Yeah.
No,
it's
I
ridiculous.
didn't have any issues with it. Oh no,
It
sorry,
was a
I failed the first time because I didn't quite understand it, but then the second time I got it
well,
straight away.
That's what I mean. It was a series of events. The first time I didn't understand it. Second time I understood that you could jump on those things to blow them up and whatever, but I didn't realize you could shoot the ones in the sky. The third one I started to realize you could shoot the ones in the sky, but I just wasn't switching between the sky stuff and the other stuff, and it was a mess. I didn't like that mission. I felt like it was a bit too precise. Like you had to do stuff too specifically. And I just thought it was kind of an annoying mission. If I'd listened the first time, would it have been easier? Maybe, but I clearly didn't. So.
Yeah, it was the mission right before I learned about the air dash as well. Like, and so like it was, there was a lot of times where I just missed the thing, and then that would make all the pigeons fly away, which is very frustrating.
You only did the air dash once you got to the medieval.
I barely used the air dash, to be fair, the whole game.
What?
Really?
I didn't.
How did you
I
not
didn't
hit
think
the
there
floor
was-
constantly?
By just jumping from wire to wire. Like I just stayed on the wires the whole time.
Nah, the dash was like a game changer for me. Like it
Yeah.
literally changed the entire game for me.
It's a difference.
I
it's a difference
trying
between
to do
hitting
it
the floor and
from
not hitting the
start
floor.
of the game.
Yeah.
But
That's
yeah,
how useful it is.
yeah. Well, yeah, it was rare for me to like not stay in the air if I wanted to. Anyway, what I did is I just used F. Well, it was F on the keyboard for me. Constantly just flip back and forth on the line if I was in combat. So I just did that constantly, and I've got to stay in the air.
Wait, did everyone use controller other than Nile?
Controller.
Yeah, I used to.
Yeah, or did you use keyboard and mouse?
I use controller.
Deck.
Alright, okay. I'm just wondering because I also use controller because it just seemed like a better decision for this type of game.
No, I wanted to, but the thing is, the game was weird. It would connect, and I start the game, so I could like go through the menus. But once I started the game, there was just no input at all. So it took me a bit to get used to the keyboard, but then it was fine after that.
For anyone listening, by the way, it runs very well on Steam Deck. Not had any issues with it whatsoever.
Yeah, it's just you just get an error at the start when you load it up. It's like
Yeah.
you need 2 gigabytes of RAM, and then it goes, you've got a corrupted save file, and then that's it.
Start a new save file and it's done. Then just make sure you're
Yeah.
in a 72016, yeah, and you're laughing. Unlike fucking Arkham Knight, I know it's go off topic here. I'm playing Arkham Knight, and it freezes so much on the Steam Deck. I know it's not like registered, like it's not like verified or anything like that, but I would have thought I'd be able to run it just fine. But I was consistently getting errors every like half an hour or something.
I was wondering why it kept popping up saying you're playing it like 5 times.
No,
before.
no, it was doing me. It just kept saying file not found. But funnily enough, thinking on, I started playing it on PC today to finish it, and I got that error once on the PC as well. So maybe it's just broken on PC.
I mean, the PC version released notoriously the most. That game pretty much invented the refund system on Steam.
Yeah.
Yes, it released in
Amazing.
such a broken state that it became like a massive, like thing in the news about like how game companies shouldn't be allowed to release games like this on the storefronts, and then Steam pretty much a couple weeks after that introduced the refund system.
All right, it's ringing a bell slightly. I just remember I obviously got it on console when
Yeah,
it
it
launched,
did get fixed, but I assume it's probably still somewhat broken.
Don't remember it having any issues on console. Anyway, back to Sunset Overdrive. So there's a lot of characters, like, and they're all quite good. I enjoyed quite a lot of the characters. Who was everyone's favorite? Assuming everyone's is Bro Cream, right? Because Bro Cream's the best.
Yeah, it's got a funny name.
Yeah,
I
I
was
think
gonna
so.
say Brokrim is my favorite. I mentioned it before at the start. It's just got a funny name. It's just funny. Like its whole storyline is funny. So I can't really say anyone else.
Well, I liked Forkim as well, and Sam had his moments.
Yeah.
I didn't hate any of the characters, which is a good thing.
Yeah,
What's he
no,
called?
no.
Norton. It was that his name? Norton.
Yeah.
Edward
Yeah,
Norton.
the guy turns into a dragon.
Wait,
Yeah.
Oh, the scout leader.
Yeah. Yeah, he was a funny guy.
who the fuck turns into a dragon?
Scout leader.
What?
The
scout
guy
leader
who
that
ousted Bro
traps-
Cream.
That threw Bro
Oh,
Cream in the
right.
truck.
Yes. Sorry. Okay, I remember now. It's because that mission ended really quickly. I forgot about him. I forgot he turned into a dragon.
It took me forever to kill that dragon. He kept on being too far away from me. Probably 'cause I wasn't using the air dash.
Bro, I was just about to say that.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Definitely.
No, you need the air dash. You need the air dash. I'm already running out of things to talk about for this one. Has anyone got anything they want to bring up?
Yeah.
Here's
I
with it.
mean,
Some of the negatives
yeah, I was gonna
about
say
the game.
Oh yeah, we have just been licking its ass, haven't we? Considering we got
Yeah,
three
exactly.
sevens out of it. Go for it, hit me with it.
So I thought the tower defense stuff was really boring, and it just like broke up the gameplay in a not very fun way.
Yeah.
Like I don't want, you can't go from like me dashing around, flying about, doing all these different missions, killing all the toady, to making me sit in one spot for 5 minutes defending these tanks. And then there's enemies coming from all different directions, so you got to swap between all your different guns to do the effectiveness on them. It just breaks up the gameplay, and I don't like that. That brought it down a lot for me.
I agree. It not only broke up the gameplay, I thought it broke it up narratively as well. Like, apart from
Yeah,
the last
it
one where it was literally the concert,
didn't make
every
sense.
time, yeah, you were in the middle of doing something, and it was like, yo, you got to come back and do some more, whatever it is that you have to make.
Yeah. Well, it
Which I
was
didn't
annoying as
care
well
about.
because I wasn't getting any of the collectibles either. So it would
Yeah.
be like, right, you need to go find 5 toilet rolls right now
You know,
in order to do this, and then you have to do it. And I didn't want to do that.
I have a theory about that. I feel like those. I mean, actually, we can just clarify with everyone, but I think that like it'll always put you about like 4 or 5 away from what you're actually on currently because.
No.
Oh, did it just let you do it at some point?
Yep.
Oh, because
Yeah.
like there was one point where it wasn't just 5, like I had to get 10 because I was on 6 or something like that, which I thought
Yes.
was silly.
So early on, I decided to stock up on them because I knew it was going to ask me a few times. But the annoying thing is that it only ended up actually asking you to do that about 3 times in the entire game, and I stocked up on about 30 of every collectible. Just because I was like, when it comes around, I don't want to have to go and collect everything. So that kind of wasted my time and took the piss a little bit, especially when it didn't really seem to. It wasn't necessary. It didn't. I don't know if you get something for actually getting all of the collectibles. I don't know if you get like a special weapon or something.
Never
But
done it. I don't want to collect 150 toilet rolls.
So many.
yeah, the collectibles outside of that were just kind of garbage. I didn't like how it forced you to do that.
It's
I
just
agree about.
something to fill the world. That's
I
literally the only thing I can think of.
I agree with Alex that the tower defense stuff was really stupid. But my least favorite mission in the game, and it's for the same reason that it just absolutely derails the game, is the mission where you've got to defend the boat for like
Yeah,
20
I was going to
minutes.
bring that
Oh
up as
yeah.
well.
It just
Yeah.
for no reason brings the game to like a screaming halt, and you can't. It's one of those missions where you can't. You've got like a range in which you have to stay within, and that range is very very small, and you just have to slowly guide this boat all the way to basically the end of its path, and it takes ages and just doesn't stop. And the entire mission just absolutely frustrated me because I don't get how they thought it was a good idea to have a game that's so fast paced and then just be like, yeah, people will enjoy standing around for 20 minutes. Like, you completely remove the main aspect of the game, which I thought
Yeah.
was really, really dumb.
Well, it was annoying as well
Um,
because there was nothing to like properly like grind on either.
no, that's what I mean. It's like the
um,
main
it,
point of the
yeah,
game.
yeah,
Um,
literally, and you're just going around collecting these bins just to
yeah,
throw in.
Yeah, something which made it
enjoy
easier though was I realized that like you could just like throw the bins on the boat and there'd be always more than what you need. So I'd
Yeah,
stock up
but it,
like
You could, but they also disappeared.
did it?
yeah,
I could get like
Yeah.
yeah. If they
4
get
or
hit
5.
by an enemy, so if you're
Oh
near
right.
them,
Yeah.
an enemy like throws something, it will destroy them. So
Yeah.
I tried doing that as well, and then they just vanished. And I was just like, sick, nice one. Wait,
My
time.
my other like main negative with the game, which I thought was underutilized, and is one of the main reasons why I didn't give the game a higher rating because I thought it was just a bit boring. Is I don't think they did a great job with any of the weapons actually upgrading when you're leveling them up. It was a clear inspiration, and you can't deny this. It was a clear inspiration from Ratchet and Clank. Insomniac were
I
like,
was literally about to
this
bring this up.
worked in Ratchet and Clank. Like the entire weapon system is based off Ratchet and Clank, and they
Yep.
took away one of the funnest aspects of that, which is when you level up the weapon to its max, it evolves into like a new type of gun. In this game, it just stays as the same gun,
Yeah.
but it has like a bit more damage, and it might give you more ammo, and that's about the extent of the upgrades. And I think it's incredibly boring. I know the amps and stuff are sort of a justification for that, but at the same time, I also think most of the amps are very
That's
boring.
fucking boring. Like, there's
Like-
no reason at all for. I
Like-
don't kind of be using any
Yeah,
of them.
1% more damage.
Yeah.
I used the same amps throughout the
Stupid.
entire game from the beginning to the end. I didn't bother changing them because I thought
Yeah,
they
I
were
just
just
equipped
so.
some at the start, and
Yeah,
then I was
I
just like,
thought-
right, that's it.
I thought they were so pointless and boring, and it didn't excite me in the slightest to go and upgrade them or swap them out. They just weren't interesting. And I don't know how the creators of Ratchet and Clank fumbled so bad with just like the whole weapon upgrade and like elemental system for the weapons and stuff. I just found it to be very, very boring. I don't know if they were playing it safe or if they just didn't want to copy Ratchet and Clank too much or what. But considering, you know, shooting things is the core gameplay, I would have assumed they would have gone all out for just making weapons really stupid. And I was a bit disappointed by the lack of customization and upgrades and all that stuff, really.
Right, so I agree with that. I agree with what you said there. So like, especially with the amps and the medals and all that shit, it's just pointless. Didn't feel good. That mission with the boat, yeah, I agree perfectly. It's just it takes away all your movement capabilities, kind of thing. It's just very frustrating. But I'm gonna play devil's advocate with the tower defense stuff. Don't get me wrong. I never was looking forward to it. Whenever the guy phoned and said, "Oh, you need to come back here," I did groan a little bit, but that shit felt good. Like the massive amount of crowd control that you did, especially if you're using like something like the flaming compensator, you just see like 30 monsters go down with one shot. Especially like towards the later ones as well, where you unlock the stuff you can jump on, the traps where you can jump on to just burn like hundreds of them at the same time. It felt really good. Like it felt like my kind of jam. So I think that's probably the difference between the 7 and the 8 out of 10.
I think it could have been better if they implemented it in a way that didn't just completely interrupt the narrative and made sense.
Yeah.
Or if they didn't, or if they introduced the tower defense stuff in more areas than just these zones that you never actually visit. Because again, why am I defending it? Like, I get that it's like the whole base that you set up and stuff, but like I never went to any of the new base. The only one I actually ever went to outside of those tower defense missions was the first one, because that was the main access to getting weapons and amps and whatever. But then after that, I didn't even realize he was building new bases everywhere. I didn't know. So yeah, if they just found a more fun way to implement it, I don't think the tower defense would have been that bad, especially since it was so infrequent. But it seems more like an afterthought, where it was like, let's just shove these in random points of the game and then make the player do this. It just didn't fit. I just don't think it worked very well.
No,
with what the game was trying to do.
It's just the gunplay just felt so good with when you're shooting that amount of monsters. It was good. It was good times. Is there anything more from anyone more?
For me, my main negative was that I hated how the story was structured. I didn't like the fact that every time you did something, it wasn't like enough to progress. Because my key thing with games is progression, and it felt like any time like you had to do something, I'm like, right, I'm gonna have to do like 4 or 5 different things to do seemingly a small thing, like get someone to talk to you or something like that. It felt like a dating sim kind of thing with that. But yeah, I didn't like, because like it's a similar sort of structure to like Spider-Man again, except that in Spider-Man everything you do feels like at least you've done something that's like actually has a consequence. But yeah, it just felt like it was sort of treading water for ages when it didn't really need to do that at all. So yeah, that's my negative.
I'm not gonna say I'm sad. I'm a little bit sad that we're never gonna get any sort of sequel or anything to this game. Obviously that's impossible now.
Yeah, like it's just stuck in some licensing hell now.
Yeah, unless like I guess if Microsoft owned the actual rights to it, they could get a different developer to do it. But I just don't think it would be the same.
It won't be the same though. It won't be Insomniac.
Yeah, I think Insomniac definitely added a polish to it that I think this game wouldn't have been anywhere near as good if it wasn't Insomniac who made it. I think they were the perfect people to make it.
Imagine if you just come out with a mobile tower defense game.
Honestly, it seems like a good cash grab. I don't know why they haven't.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm a bit sad about that. And Microsoft sort of fumbled by not scooping up Insomniac when they had the chance. But Spider-Man's great, so it don't matter. We have Spider-Man now. We don't need Sunset Overdrive. It's okay.
Sunset Overdrive was the beta for Spider-Man.
It does feel like that in a lot of aspects. I can't lie. It really does feel like I don't know, man. Yeah, it's just.
He's getting to believing.
Yeah, sorry, no, I was getting to it. They had Spider-Man in the works for sure at that point. They had to.
Right. I just want to talk about one more thing before we move on to Twitter questions for next month's game. So the mission where you get the sword, was anyone proper bummed out by the fact that you lost that at the end of it?
Yes.
That's because
I
it
was
felt
gonna
so
bring that,
good.
I was literally about
Yeah,
to bring that up,
it-
and
it-
Niall was like gatekeeping progression. It's like they made you get this sword, and then you use it, and then they take its power away, and then the game's finished.
Yeah, I actually,
Like one
I
mission
actually
after
had
that.
like a visual response of like sadness when the mission ended and I pressed B and nothing happened. And I was just like, why? I was like, why? Like, what? Literally, why did you? It didn't even explain why it took it away. Just took it away.
Well, it
No,
said
it did.
the ninja lady like nerfed it or something like that.
Oh,
Yeah,
I don't.
they
It
took the power
seems
away.
silly because it was right at the end of the game anyway. They could have let you keep it. You only have like 2 missions.
I don't. It would have made. Well, let's face it. It would have made the last 2 missions too easy because that mission was very easy. That entire mission was great
Yeah.
though. The whole forging of the sword in the nuclear tower.
Oh, yeah.
was
Oh, yeah.
amazing.
Should we quickly talk about the bosses? Just so
I can't remember any of the bosses to be honest.
Yeah,
There's only two.
what
there's
would
only
be-
2.
what would
Both
be
from the
classed as a-
Fizco.
And they got the
does the
dragon as
dragon
well.
not count?
Oh, the dragon as well. Yeah.
Yeah. No, the
Well,
physical.
So the boss is that big balloon and then the robot at the end.
Yeah,
Right?
I found the robot very, very, very easy. The balloon
It
was,
was
a bit
very
annoying for
easy.
me because I don't know about you, mate. Yeah, I struggled to like understand whether my bullets were registering because sometimes it felt like it should, and my health wasn't going down. Other times it felt like it probably shouldn't, and it did. It might have just been me.
Yeah, I didn't think there was very much. I didn't think there was a very good visual representation of like if you were actually doing damage or not with stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I just always assumed it was. I mean, I thought the bosses were fine. I don't have anything particularly, nice to say about them. But I have nothing bad to say about them. I thought Fizz was quite funny. I thought it was.
Yeah.
He said the F word sometimes. That was funny.
That was pretty crazy.
Actually, that makes it sound like he said something way worse. They said fuck. But yeah, I thought the bosses were okay. I honestly, considering the fact that you said let's talk about the bosses, and I couldn't pick out exactly what the bosses were, I think sort of is telling about like what I thought about them in the first place.
Exactly. It just like the first Fizco like balloon fight, it was like, yeah, this is fine, and then the dragon was all right, and then they just sort of like when there was like the fake ending at the end, and it was like, right, here's the Fizco like big tower now, and it's just like, all right, okay, and then that lasted like 5 minutes, and then the end of the game.
Would you count the king of the are they called scabs?
Oh, the roller coaster.
Yeah. Would
I
you
guess
count that as a
I
boss?
guess that'd be a boss fight.
That was a good mission as well. Right, anyway, boys, I'm gonna have to stop you. I'm gonna have to stop you because we're gonna have to move on. So
much to say.
I was more than I was expecting. I was struggling at 15 minutes, and now we are 20 minutes later. So we got the Sunset Overdrive got 3 7s and an 8. But let's find out what we're playing next month. So next month, Alex is picking. So let's play 20 questions to find out what it is. Can I just get one out the way straight away?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Go on then.
Yeah. Is it a Japanese developer?
It is.
Bang him. Cool. We'll go Lewis next and then Niall.
Is it? Did it come out in the 2000s?
Between 2000 and
originally.
2010, I imagine.
Yeah, so 2000 and 2010.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
This is just for the council. This one is Square Enix a Japanese developer?
Yeah, it's the most Japanese developer in the world.
I mean, Nintendo. They come out with some weeb shit like Mario. To be fair,
Final Fantasy.
Yeah. So is the developer Alex Square Enix?
Oh.
Developer Alex.
Right. So it's 2000 to 2010. So what's that? So that's shit. That could be 2 generations. That couldn't it?
Yeah, it could be PS2, GameCube, PS3, 360,
Wii.
all that shit. Yeah.
Could be a Suda 51 game. Does he like Suda 51 games?
I think the only Suda 51 games he's played are No More Heroes.
Would he make us play No More Heroes?
Considering there'd be no way for us to buy.
Oh yeah, no, that's a good point. Yeah, fair play.
Yeah.
Is it? Is it third person? It's a
I actually
Japanese,
don't know.
Japanese developer.
Oh
I'd
no,
certainly hope it.
I don't think so.
You don't think it's third person?
Oh,
Interesting.
Well, it could still be top down, couldn't it? Could
Yeah,
we
it
make
could-
a player
yeah,
strategy
yeah.
I
game?
suppose like
Yeah,
Tulip, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Has this game? Has this game been re-released?
Yes.
Ooh. That's interesting. Another one for the council. Do you reckon this could be on Game Pass? Do you reckon it was a fake out before?
It could be a fake. Feel free to ask it.
No, yeah,
Yeah.
he never said it. What? It could be on Game Pass. It's very possible.
Alex, is it on Game
Yes.
Pass?
Yes.
Oh
Okay,
shit! It is
cool.
on Game Pass.
Good to
Okay.
know.
Japanese developer on Game Pass.
Interesting.
I got nothing.
It can't. I assume Danganronpa's thingy. It can't be that because it's going off Game Pass in 6 days.
He wouldn't play. He wouldn't make us play that. And it was too long.
Also, like, it's also
Yeah.
40 hours.
Yeah. Does it have an anime style art style?
It does.
It does.
No,
Time is too long as well, isn't it?
I mean, oh, that's not on Game Pass, probably.
I can't believe he's making me play a Weave game. I
Wait,
can't
ask
believe
me.
it. The
I was
betrayal.
looking at Game Pass before. I know.
Is it? It's been re-released. Wait, okay. Is it in a franchise of games, or is it a one-off?
It is in a franchise.
Ah,
There's no short Persona games, is there? Or is he making us play a Persona game?
No, there's no short. So unless he's committing us to 90 hours, then at least, then no.
all right.
It's been re-released. Came out in the 2000s, and it's on Game Pass now.
Is it first person?
You asked if it was third person before.
We did.
I
I
tried
did.
checking. I think it's first person.
Okay.
A first-person anime style game. What are you
pretty crazy.
talking about? I've got absolutely nothing.
Right. I'll tell you this now. The only person that might get this is Lewis.
Fucking knew it. Right,
So
Lewis.
could've-
you,
we
have
could've guessed that.
to, you have to try and lure Lewis to the answer.
Okay.
Lewis, have you got any idea at all so far?
Moment. No, I think what's throwing me off at the moment is that it's in a franchise of games and that it's maybe first person. I think that's sort of throwing me, because I feel like if it was in a franchise, especially, it'd be very easy to know what type of game it is. But he seems uncertain.
Right, so it's been re-released and it's in a franchise, so it should, in theory, be the first game in the franchise, surely.
Probably, unless they're games that don't rely on like a sequential story or anything. It might just be stories tied to the own game, but in a franchise.
Right. How many? Has anyone been counting questions, by the way?
What?
All right, I'm counting questions, so I'm just gonna. I was gonna assume that my count is right, and this is the 10th.
Oh right, yeah, shit.
Oh yeah, it probably is. There's only
Completely
three
forgot
of us.
about that.
Right. So, was this critically acclaimed when it came out? Feel free to check
don't think so.
Metacritic.
What is critically acclaimed? Is it 80 or above?
I'd say so. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
probably. This is a tough fucking.
So that was 10th question.
This is a tough fucking.
An FPS. That's.
Well, it's not an. It might not be an S.
We don't know.
Oh
his
no!
S.
Yeah, sorry.
We just know it's an FP.
Right, it got an 82.
Oh fuck.
When it first came out.
That's a
Oh,
big
that's a
game.
spicy meatball, Lewis. Over to you.
Is
Okay, and I'll just say this: the version that's on Game Pass got an 87.
Christ. Is wait. Oh no, it's first person.
Is there some like samurai games on
There's
that?
there isn't a first-person anime game.
There isn't. I can't not think of one.
Um,
That's all.
Could it be like something stupid, like a visual novel? Like, because I guess that is from a
I mean,
first-person perspective, isn't
I
it?
mean, technically,
Yeah.
that's true. But
Yeah.
like, there's not going to be a visual novel that's like
87 on Metacritic.
well, no, there's under 10 hours. It's just not going to be. That's not a thing.
Yeah.
The question I'm going to ask, because I need more time to think, is I thought something would come to me. To be honest, is this game, Alex? Okay,
Yes.
have any of us, because this is a yes or no question, so it's fine. Have any of us that you know of played any of the games in this franchise before?
No. Not even
Okay.
me.
Right. Okay.
Not even Alex.
Not even me.
Ah. So it sounds like he's at least played the first one, which might be helpful.
No, it sounds like he hasn't played any of them.
So it just
I
asked.
don't know. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of a question. Give me a second.
What?
My question is: are all the games in the franchise on Game Pass?
No.
Okay.
Okay, I've got a question, but it's kind of
Wait, hang
weird.
on. We just double check.
I'm trying to think as I like if I ever scroll through Game Pass, they'll be bunched up if there's a bunch of them, and it'll be easy to remember.
I'm gonna ask a question. It might be a bit of a waste, but I need to clarify.
Go for it.
Go on.
It's not me though. It's you, Oliver.
Well, it's fine. Just go for it. Just ask the question.
I think on Game Pass it's the first two games.
Okay.
Oh,
We get a lot of information out of Alex here. And
I
you
know,
still not
yeah.
helping.
Because you're not gonna get it.
I was gonna. Okay. Well, my question was just gonna be: is it a re-release or is it a remaster? Is it a remake or? Actually, I guess not. Yes or no. Is it a remake?
Oh,
One sec.
I'd be surprised if it wasn't because it's.
I'm pretty sure it's a remake.
No, because it could have just been re-released. They could have just re-released a bunch of these old games.
I know,
It
but I
was
don't.
remade.
No, it has to be remade. It's remade.
Okay.
Right. This wouldn't have been an exclusive to Xbox, would it? So there's no point in asking for exclusivity or anything like that.
A Japanese game realistically would not have been
No.
exclusive to Xbox. No.
Was Sunset
I'd be very
Overdrive? Oh, never mind. Sunset Overdrive is made by Insomniac.
Uh,
For some reason, I thought it was Square Enix, even though we've already talked about that.
Fuck, you know.
I'm proper struggling here, fellas. Okay, does it have a samurai in it?
Not that I know of.
Okay,
No,
it's
no.
not a samurai game.
Do
What are we
you? We're on 14 currently. Do you create your own character?
I don't think so.
that was a shit question.
That wasn't a shit question at
It
all.
was. It was. We're really stupid. We haven't even tried to suss out the genre of game. Yeah, at all. We haven't.
Go
You
on,
also
then.
don't even know what console it originally came out on.
I'm not too bothered about that. I think that's.
I would be.
Probably came out on like the Wii or something.
That means it came out on like the DS or the Wii because he said it has to have been remade.
Yeah.
Which means if it was DS game, it would have to be remade. If it was a Wii game, it would have to be remade because of the controls.
Phoenix Wright's not on Game Pass, is it? No. Because that's first person and it's anime.
It could be.
That fits the bill. I'm
It
pretty sure
does.
that's the only game to exist that has
And it
that.
came out on DS.
And it came out on DS, but I can't see Phoenix Wright being on Game Pass.
I mean, it could be. It might be, you know. But no. Think about it. He said that I'm the only one who would probably get this. It can't be Phoenix Wright. It literally
Like,
just
well,
can't.
Yeah.
guessed it.
I would.
Well,
Yeah.
Oliver could get. Yeah, Oliver's
Yeah.
played Finish Right.
And
And he said that none of us have played these games. He literally said that.
Well, we've got 5 questions. Shall we pin down the genre? Or shall we just say, do you shoot in
Yeah.
this game?
Well, I was gonna say, yeah, depend. I could say a specific genre, but that might waste questions.
It's all going
So
to
I'm
waste
gonna say
questions at this point. Don't worry
I don't
about
think it's going to be a JRPG, so I don't think we need to worry about that. Is it an adventure game?
That is one of the genres.
That is so broad, Lewis, what you've just asked there. Isn't it? Every game's an adventure.
We know it's not. We know it's not like a puzzle game or something.
It could be an adventure puzzle game.
No.
It could be an adventure dating sim, Lewis. It could be fucking anything. Right. Now you got anything, mate?
Go. I'm still trying to think.
Fuck.
You can go anyway.
Right. You know what I was going to ask? Do you shoot a gun in this game?
No.
No. So it's first person. You don't shoot a gun.
I mean, it's got to be an RPG if it's.
You don't shoot a gun.
It's got to be a visual novel, surely. Then I cannot imagine a 3D environment with anime graphics.
How many questions? How many questions are we on?
We got 3 left.
Yeah, 3.
Alex, is it a visual novel?
No.
That is one of the genres.
Wait, what? An adventure? What?
It
I don't
also
think
has
anybody's-
one more.
That's one more. Probably like.
Puzzle.
No, it's got to be role playing on it for the final one.
If it's the fucking dating sim, I swear to God.
Just for you, Oliver. I picked a dated sim.
No, because what visual novel is going to be under 10 hours?
A short one.
They don't exist.
Right.
Well,
so
apparently, a first-person anime game doesn't exist, but here we are.
we don't know that Alex has picked a game under 10 hours. We don't know that. We don't know that for
true.
sure.
Just say this: it's under 10 hours.
What the fuck is this game, then?
Oh!
Have we got it?
No, are they under 10 hours? Because I've played them.
Say them out loud, Lewis. What is it? Oh, keep your secrets then.
No, it's just a massive waste if I say it and it's not it.
No, but
just
you say it.
confirm with us.
Say it to the council.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So it could be the Zero Escape games.
Don't know what that is. You're on your own, Lewis.
Yeah.
It's a visual novel that was released on the DS, and they were called 999 over here or over in America. I don't remember. But it's basically a visual novel where you've got to escape something. I don't want to spoil it. But it could be that. But I swear that's a trilogy. And he said
There's only 2 on Game
it
Pass,
says
is what it
yeah.
said.
But the thing is that I know for a fact the Zero Escape games re-released a couple years ago as like as like a collection of games. So that'd be weird if it didn't have all of them because it was like it released as a collection.
This is the biggest lead that we've got. So, can you ask a question that would confirm yes or no?
Confirms if it's the Zero Escape game.
Yeah.
Alec. I'm not going to ask you if it's the Zero Escape games. Alex.
Yeah.
So this game, right?
Right.
Is it published? I don't know who publishes it, lad. Is it published? Is it published by? It could only be like 2 developers. It's either Koei Tecmo or Spike.
Right, but Lewis, you don't know the answer to this question, so why are you asking?
Alex, is it published by Spike Chunsoft?
It is.
It is.
Right, but Lewis, you don't know whether they published this game.
No, but I know that either Koei Tecmo or Spike Chunsoft developed it, and he just confirmed that Spike Chunsoft developed these games. So that's a pretty good lead, isn't it?
Well, you know that's a good lead, but the point of the question was to find out whether. Right, you know,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying. I don't need to explain myself.
I think it's the Zero Escape game.
Right, let's just make that our guess because we're not going to get any closer. But I'm sure it can only surely be one of the games. So it's Zero Escape 1.
Is Zero Escape the non-binary games? What they're called?
Non-binary.
the nonary games, I think it's called. Is it Zero Escape the
It's the
nonary?
first one.
Fuck is
Right,
this? I'm
okay.
going to have to look it up.
I
It's
swear
9 hours.
9 hours, 9
only-
days, something.
I know, yeah, 9 hours, 9 persons, 9 doors. It's 9
Yeah.
hours long, surprisingly.
No.
It's called Zero Escape.
I didn't
Right?
I didn't know
Zero
you played it
Escape.
before, Lewis.
Oh, it's not on PC Game Pass, you bastard. I'm gonna have to get out the original Xbox.
I just played the DS version.
I don't.
No.
Okay.
I'm gonna hate this so much.
No,
It's
not
like-
oh no, Oliver, they're really good. Like they're
Yeah.
actually really good.
The way that I like when I was looking for a game, it was like sort of like Phoenix Wright and Danganronpa like type thing. So I was just like, oh, that seems cool. And then I saw it was made by Spike, and I was just like, yeah.
Can you get
Cool,
can you
go
get it
with
on
that.
Steam?
It's
yes.
on Steam, but it'll be like $30.
Oh no, it is on PC Game Pass. If you type in Zero Escape, it doesn't come up for some reason. You have to type in Nonary, and it comes up.
There you go.
Install. Boom. I won't do it yet because I'll lag, but I've got it.
Zero Escape non games is 24 quid on Steam. That's what I'm saying. I want you to play it on Steam Deck. Okay, fine, cool. We're playing Zero Escape, the non games.
Oh, 9 hours, 9 doors, 9 persons.
That thing we are
What
playing.
What does that mean?
That's the first game.
That's what it's.
9
Okay.
hours, 9
So,
persons.
so if I
9 doors.
download this and open it, there's gonna be like a game selection thing.
There's gonna game selection.
Okay, cool. All right, got you.
Okay, grand. Right, we'll call it there. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next month for that game. Goodbye.
Bye.
Yes. Goodbye.
Bye.